At 4:45 in the morning on September 1st, 1939, German forces crossed into Poland. Aircraft appeared in the sky, tanks moved across the border, and within hours, Europe had entered a conflict unlike anything the world had ever seen. But the invasion of Poland was only the beginning. Within 6 years, entire cities would disappear beneath smoke. Governments would collapse, new weapons would change warfare forever, and more than 50 countries would be pulled into a global struggle for survival. How did one invasion become the deadliest conflict in human history? And why did the world fail to stop it before it was too late? The story begins 20 years earlier. In 1919, the First World War ended. Europe wanted peace, but the agreement designed to prevent another conflict helped create the conditions for one. The Treaty of Versailles forced Germany to accept responsibility for the war. It lost territory, its military was restricted, and it was required to make enormous financial payments. Many Germans felt humiliated. Then the economy collapsed. Savings became worthless. Unemployment rose. Families struggled to survive. And in the middle of this fear and anger, one political movement promised to restore Germany's power. Its leader was Adolf Hitler. Hitler did not seize total power in a single night. He gained influence by offering simple answers to complicated problems. He blamed minorities and political opponents. He promised jobs, he promised stability, and most importantly, he promised revenge against the countries that had defeated Germany. In 1933, Hitler became chancellor. Then democracy began to disappear. Political rivals were arrested. Independent newspapers were silenced. Books were burned. Children were taught Nazi ideology. And Germany began preparing for war. The warning signs were visible. But much of the world hoped Hitler would eventually stop. He did not. In 1936, German troops entered the Rhineland, an area they were forbidden to militarize. There was no military response. In 1938, Hitler annexed Austria. Again, there was no war. Then he demanded the Sudetenland, part of Czechoslovakia. Britain and France agreed, hoping that one final concession would preserve peace. It became known as appeasement. But Hitler did not see compromise as a reason to stop. He saw it as weakness. Only months later, German forces occupied the rest of the Czech lands. The next target was Poland, and this time, Britain and France promised they would respond. On September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. The attack was fast, coordinated, and overwhelming. Aircraft struck strategic positions. Tanks broke through defensive lines. Motorized troops followed behind. The strategy became known as Blitzkrieg, lightning war. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war on Germany, but Poland was trapped. On September 17, the Soviet Union invaded from the east under a secret agreement with Nazi Germany. Polish forces resisted fiercely, but by early October, the country had been divided between two powerful invaders. The war had begun, and for a few months, an uneasy silence followed. Then Germany attacked again. In April 1940, Germany invaded Denmark and Norway. 1 month later, German forces moved into Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. The Allies expected the main attack to come through northern Belgium. Instead, German tanks crossed the Ardennes, a forested region thought to be too difficult for a major armored assault. The result was devastating. Allied armies were outmaneuvered. Hundreds of thousands of British and French soldiers became trapped near Dunkirk. Their only escape was across the sea. Naval ships arrived,